Let me ask you something simple. Have you ever really looked at a car door? Not opened it, not closed it, actually looked at it, thought about it? Probably not, because you've been trained, without even knowing it, to ignore it. You've been conditioned to see car doors as nothing more than basic, functional slabs of metal. Just a hinge, a handle, a way in and out. That's it. But what if I told you that's a lie? What if I told you car doors could be outrageous, mind-bending, even revolutionary? See, the auto industry has quietly trained us to expect the same formula. Safe, predictable, normal. Most people never question it. But the truth is, some designers, the bold ones, they did. They questioned everything. And they built doors that shouldn't exist. Doors that ignore logic, laugh at convention, and force you to ask, why the hell does that even open like that? And that's the point. These aren't just doors. They're statements, psychological weapons, designed to stick in your memory like a glitch in the Matrix. When you see something that defies expectation, a door that folds upward like a knife blade, or vanishes into a panel, your brain can't forget it. That's not a design flaw. That's design on purpose. It hijacks your attention. It manipulates your memory. And just like that, the car becomes unforgettable. But here's the twist. These designs didn't come from one type of car. They came from everywhere. From luxury beasts and supercars, to obscure experiments, to things that somehow made it into production when they absolutely shouldn't have. And you're about to see them. The top 10 weirdest car doors ever built. And this is part 2, where things get even stranger. But don't just watch this list. Question what you think is normal. Because once you've seen what's possible, once you've seen how far outside the box some engineers were willing to go, you'll realize the boring car door you see every day, that's the real weird one, the real failure, the real missed opportunity. And when we get to number 8, oh, you're going to feel it. It's not just a door, it's an icon, a design so bold, so recognizable that it changed everything and still turns heads decades later. So clear your mind. Forget what you think a car door should be, because you're about to see what happens when the rules are thrown out and the weird is finally allowed in. 10. The Peugeot 1007's electric sliding doors. We're kicking off with something deceptively simple. The Peugeot 1007. At first glance, it looks like just another compact European city car. But then, the doors. They slide open electrically. Not backwards like a van. No, these slide straight into the rear body. And it's a 2-door, not a minivan. A hatchback with van-like electric sliders. You may not think that's weird, but pause for a second. Why would a tiny car need motorized sliding doors? The answer, it didn't. Peugeot just wanted attention, and it worked. The design confused people, fascinated them, even frustrated them, but everyone remembered it. That's the first sign of great design. It doesn't ask for permission to be remembered. 9. The Lincoln Mark VIII Concept's gullwing doors. On a sedan, think gullwing doors belong only on sports cars? Think again. In the mid-90s, Lincoln showed off a Mark VIII concept that had gullwing doors on a luxury sedan. It looked insane, like a spaceship in a business suit. And while it never made production, it planted a dangerous seed. What if serious luxury cars had ridiculous doors? That seed eventually grew into Rolls-Royce suicide doors, Tesla Falcon wings, and other bold choices that started with ideas like this. This wasn't just design, it was psychological warfare against normality. 8. The Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing. Now we arrive at number 8, the icon. The door so legendary, it defined a brand. The Mercedes-Benz 300 SL. Its gullwing doors didn't just look cool, they had to be that way. The frame was so advanced and lightweight, they couldn't fit regular doors. So they engineered this elegant, upward opening solution, and unintentionally created a legend. The 300 SL wasn't just fast, it was mythical. And these doors, they were its wings. The image of those gull wings spreading open has been burned into automotive history, burned into our brains, and copied endlessly ever since. There's a reason it's called an icon. You don't forget it. Ever. 7. The BMW Z1's drop-down doors. Doors that don't swing out, or up, or slide. Nope. The BMW Z1 said, what if the doors just disappeared into the body? And that's exactly what they do. With the push of a button, the doors drop straight down into the side skirts of the car. Visually, it's incredible. Functionally, questionable. But the point wasn't function, it was shock. BMW used the Z1 to scream, we can do anything. And it worked. 6. The Mazda Nagare Concept's organic wave. Doors, if a door could be alive, it would be this one. The Mazda Nagare Concept was one of the wildest experiments in flow design. Its doors were shaped like liquid waves, and when they opened, they didn't just move, they flowed upward in a diagonal arc. It didn't go into production. Of course not. It wasn't supposed to. It was built to make us feel something. Confusion, awe, intrigue. That's not bad design. That's deliberate mind control. 5. The Bertone Genesis van's Lambo doors. Yes, a van, with Lamborghini scissor doors. In the 80s, Bertone, the same Italian design house that styled Lambos, built a concept van, and then said, screw it, let's give it scissor doors. Why? Because it's so wrong, it becomes impossible to ignore. It's like putting a tuxedo on a gorilla. Your brain doesn't know how to react, and that's the genius. It made the Genesis unforgettable. Number 4. The Koenigsegg Regeras Dihedral Synchrohelix doors. This is not science fiction. This is Sweden and Koenigsegg. These doors rotate outward, upward, and forward at the same time. It's not a gimmick. It's a complex, precisely engineered movement that turns the simple act of opening a door into a mechanical ballet. It's weird, yes, but it's also elegant, surgical, hypnotic. This door is more than a flex. It's a dominance display, an alpha move from a company that makes cars to scare billionaires. 3. The Toyota Serra's butterfly doors. Before McLaren made butterfly doors famous, Toyota quietly slipped them onto a tiny hatchback in the 90s. The Serra wasn't fast, it wasn't expensive, but those butterfly doors, they made it look like it belonged on a poster next to Ferraris and Lamborghinis. This was democratized weirdness, exotic style for the average driver. And it worked. People still obsess over this car today, and the doors are 90% of the reason why. 2. The Renault Avantime's giant one-door coupe madness. What do you get when you take a minivan and turn it into a two-door luxury coupe? The Renault Avantime. But it gets weirder. The doors are enormous, freakishly wide. But Renault added a dual-axis hinge system that lets them swing out in a way that reduces clearance space. It's clever, it's bizarre, and it's peak French automotive chaos. Nobody asked for this, but we're glad they built it anyway. Number 1. The Tesla Model X's Falcon Wing doors. You knew this was coming. The Tesla Model X's rear doors don't open. They rise. They sense surroundings. They perform, like a bird stretching its wings. Are they practical? Arguably not. Necessary? Definitely not. But they serve a higher purpose. Pure psychological disruption. When you see those doors open in a parking lot, your brain doesn't say, "Oh, nice Tesla." It says, "What the hell is that?" That reaction, that interruption of thought, is what Tesla thrives on. Elon didn't just build a car, he built a spectacle. All right, you've seen the madness. Doors that slide, rise, vanish, twist, and even flex reality itself. But now, it's your turn. Which one blew your mind the most? And which one made you go, "Nope, that's just dumb"? Drop it in the comments. I promise you're not the only one with strong opinions on this list. And hey, if you know of a door we missed that's even weirder, you better tell us, because part 3 might just be your idea. I'll be watching the comments. Let's get weird.